Alright, welcome to episode 42. I have already tried to record this thing, and then I got pretty far, and I went, oh yeah, there's something I need to do. And it took ages to try and do that thing, so yeah, it's really annoying. Anyway, in the last episode we had World War I, which was a very big event in the world. As you can see, the world, mostly Europe, looks very different. I mean, you've got this new Danish country, have this new thing, oh yeah. What just happened? Oh. I was messing around with layers. That was part of what I was trying to do. Yeah, just don't do that, I suppose. It's really... I don't understand. A Danish country, this new sludge team puppet, who I changed the colour because it looked too similar to the yellow colour, although so did this Greek one. At least I know it doesn't in the video thing. It doesn't how I'm looking at it, but it did when I was watching a bit of this video. Then the Italians own most of continental, all of continental Italy, I suppose, like their own Trieste. Is that this bit? You know, effectively just the Italian peninsula. The purple team is stuck on Corsica. The Italians also own all of Libya, have the giant yellow team Empire, who are in Anatolia as well. Have the Crimeans having two new countries, so there's this one over here, and the old Crimean state. Yep. They didn't have a good time. The grey team got divided, the Finns got some more land. The sludge team is now just a monstrous Eastern European Union thing. Russia got split. They lost quite a lot of land to the west and the south of their country. But then we also have this giant green team puppet over here. Although the brown team are also being puppeted, so just a ton of puppets, I suppose. The lime team kind of rebuilt their empire with Mozambique. I added major cities, so that was cool. And they've also got Northern Australia back, so that's nice for them. China got some land from Korea, the South Chinese Union, which has an Indian country and a Vietnamese one, but don't worry. The Japanese united all of Japan. They have the Civilisation Islands, this big load of islands, and Hawaii, so that's cool, I suppose. Sakhalin's in pain. Not even Sakhalin anymore because they don't have Sakhalin. That's about it, really, for that war. Probably some stuff I'm missing. Oh yeah, the Terracotta Nation lost a lot of land. Switzerland is slightly larger, but they didn't really get that much from this. That's about it, I think, though. So let's have a look at the war, the world post-war. Also, yeah, the Italians took these islands as well. Anyway, so the war ended in, I think, is it somewhere in like the late 1917, possibly middle of 1917. Ended somewhere around there, so it's about as long as our war, our World War I. And after that, lots of countries are going to be rebuilding. So, we're going to see that. But this rebuilding, well, you know, Western Europe doesn't have the same proportion of power over the world. Now, power ranking, power rankings is still the UK, Iberia, Ireland. Who did I have after that? I don't know. Number 4, that was like China or India or something like that, I believe. Oh. There's that list. Nope. Oh, too many lists. Nope. Where was this list? Oh, there we go. It's the one labeled Power Rankings. Oh yeah, number 4 is the Russians. The Russians are not number 4 in the world. They're not too weak, but they're also not that capable anymore. Number 5 is now... probably... It's not Korea anymore. So I suppose it would be India, then China, then Korea. Then the sludge team, maybe? Yeah. Sludge team and Korea are now very close. Then France. Then the green team. Because the Terracotta Nation is not in the number 10 spot. And I suppose it's pretty much the same. Granada. Probably some... Oh yeah, South China exists. Yeah, you're very strong. So with this new move in economy, the stock market. You know, we all love the stock market, especially just after World War I. Well, we're going to be doing something slightly different with the stock market, because just like you predicted, it will still be collapsing, don't worry. But this time, its collapse is brought on by the fact that instead of the USA losing control of the stock market, a new group is going to be taking control of the stock market, and this is going to be this huge Asian alliance. So the Green Team, India, China, they're all going to use the same currency, South China as well, I suppose. They're strong now. They're all going to be using the same currency, and this currency is going to become so valuable that lots of other currencies are just shoved down. So a big old Central Asian currency that's used by like all of the... What is going on? All of these countries, this just kind of collapses. Their currency, no, not good. European currency, not good. This currency is kind of becoming more valuable, but it's hard to keep it afloat. It's just because they're in an alliance. But yeah, so this economic breakdown thing, we're going to see more effects of that as we go through the video, and how the people who are coping with it fine, the people who are taking control of the stock market, use this to their advantage, or at least hope to. Because something got discovered recently, and I wonder if you can guess what it is. Well, they didn't discover it, they knew of its existence for a while, but some people have been exploring it, and this is the Norwegians. Of course, the Norwegians aren't very close to the south, however, they do love cold places, and this has led Norway to start their exploration of Antarctica. So hopefully, the recording is still going on. I've switched the map onto this other map. As you can see, this is a real map of our world at the moment. Let's just compare. Quite different, I would say. It has Antarctica, so I can divide a bit Antarctica on here, just to remember some stuff. The Norwegians have been exploring Antarctica. They were kind of arrived probably at Palmer's Land, which is this bit over here, because it's one of the most northern areas of Antarctica. And they've been exploring across there. The Terracotta Nations have been exploring the northern coast, along with the British out here from the New Zealand colony. History has shown quite a lot of interest in this bit. You know, they like exploring stuff. So, yeah. However, the country who's now showing the most interest is the Indian Empire. Now, in terms of Indian empires, how many there have been? There's been kind of the first one. That was kind of an empire. And there's the Indian colonial empire. And that fell apart, and we had the third Indian Empire, kind of, which was just like India, as it is just on the continent. And then now we're on to the fourth one, which is the second Indian colonial empire. But they'd like to make this colonial empire bigger. You know, they have Mozambique, and they have Australia. You need a bit more than just a Mozambique and Australia to have a real empire, I think. So, after hearing about all this new exploration of Antarctica, and how people are like, oh, there could be loads of cool things down in Antarctica, the Indians are going to want to start a conference between various countries who'd be interested in dividing up Antarctica. And this is like proper dividing it up. Like in our timeline, you know, people have bits where it's like, oh, this is the British claim on Antarctica, this is the French claim, this is the Australian claim, Frostland, New Zealand claim, it might be New Zealand actually, Norwegian claim, all that sort of stuff. This time it's actually going to be like, this is your territory, it's not just a claim, this is actually land that you own. I mean, it kind of is, but to be more sure. But also, I've yapped for 9 minutes now, so let's go on doing some stuff. But yeah, Antarctica. We're going to look at that later. However, I think it's about time for a war, don't you? So let's have a look up at the Nordic area, because one of the countries who are suffering a lot, also, yeah, the Finns are going to invest in building a city down here, right by this lake, because they want to. Kind of just because there's nothing down here and I don't like how it looks. So they build one down there, but there's still like this random area. There we go. That's kind of fixed it. Anyway, a country who's really suffering from the economic fall breakdown thing is Sweden. Now the Swedes have a colonial empire, kind of. They're an imperialist country. They have very far east Pomerania. It's kind of like Poland. Kaliningrad sort of area. They have, of course, the Central American colony, their islands in the Lesser Antilles, Galapagos Islands, and then Madagascar Comoros, and Mauritius. So that's the stuff that the Swedes currently own. However, the Finns would like to attack them whilst they're weak. Finland has recently gone down the imperialist route. Route. I don't know why I said route. Route. Finland's recently gone down the imperialist route, and they'd like to get themselves an empire. Probably not a colonial one, because they're stuck in the Baltic. See? However, they would like to make themselves a little empire. I mean, it kind of worked, because they took the Orange team, but that was kind of just expansion. So they'd like to get some territories slightly further away, but not that far away. So they're going to be declaring war on Sweden, after 10 minutes 40 seconds of yapping. So the Swedes were not expecting this war, as Finnish troops will move into their islands. So the Finns, they've had pretty good relations with Sweden across history. However, it doesn't matter. They take this island right here in the center. Is this? I get confused with Swedish islands. How they take this one, it's a very important trade island, which is why there's a major city on it. And the Swedes are pretty much unable to stop this. They set up some defences for this island. What's it called? Is it Ireland? I know there's a Swedish island called Ireland. Oh, it's Gotland. Yeah, there you go. And I don't know what that one is. Oh, that's Åland. Gotland. Try out these pronunciations. Faster Ireland. Okay, sure. Oh, cool. Yes, this is apparently Faster Ireland. I don't know how you pronounce it. I'm not Swedish. A very long time ago, there'd be like a load of Norwegians who come to Britain. I always guarantee that there's Norwegian heritage, but I'm definitely not Nordic. In the stuff. Oh yeah, I'm really Nordic. My great. No, sure. Anyway, so the Swedes will take that, and after about a week and loads of naval fighting, although they can't make a landing on the actual land part of Sweden, they will go down and take Gotland. I don't know. Sorry. But what they really want is this little colony down here, because it's pretty important to the Swedes. The Swedes quite like it. But you know who it's more important to? This guy. So the Finns will concentrate their efforts on taking this area. Yeah, we were going to use this, weren't we? Cool. How the Swedes will manage to retake this island as they focus their efforts down there. But, you know, it's not too long before the now quite superior Finnish military will come up and take those islands back. I mean, they are receiving like heavy, whatever it's called. Wow, I knew what I was talking about. Donations from the Sludge team, the Russian puppet, the Yellow team, German puppet, Denmark. Denmark's helping them position and stuff. Or more like Jutland, because it's a bit bigger than Denmark. It's the entire Jutland Peninsula, with some areas of this. What's this bit called? I like that one. It's a cool word. God, I hate you. Anyway, I finally took Bornholm, which is this island down here. It's a very important Danish island in real life. And they're kind of content with that. You know, they'd like to make a landing in Sweden, but is it really worth it? Kind of, but oh well. And they're going to leave it there, so they annex all this territory and a peace treaty with Sweden. Boom. There you go. This is the new imperialist Finnish empire. However, they will be selling their southern acquisition over to the Sludge team. Yeah, they're kind of sad about that, but they sell it for a load of money and more friendship. So that's nice for Finland, I suppose. But it's really not nice for the Swedish country, who is even further in debt now to various countries, as their currency becomes pretty much useless. They've just lost a load of their empire, a load of their islands, and a load of their control over the Baltic. They are now pretty much surrounded by enemies. You have Jutland, the Sludge team, Finland, and you got the Norwegians, but the Jutes control this bit, kind of. So there's no Gothenburg. Why is there no Gothenburg? It's like I really need to update this major city map, because there should be like a ton more cities. Like, why wouldn't there would definitely be like a load of cities down here? but oh well, I seem to have neglected that. Anyway, I mean, I did the Africa map, you know. Well done me for doing this. There should be more cities. Oh well. That's our first war, but it's not our last war, especially for Sweden. As elsewhere, they're going to get attacked, and this is in Madagascar, because the Chinese, the Chinese took this bit. That's all they got. They got this bit from Korea in that war. And as you remember, them, India and Japan were very annoyed about the fact they were not invited to the Berlin Conference, or our version of it, which is like the Toulouse Conference. I don't know. It wasn't great. I could have done it in Amsterdam. But, oh well. Anyway, so maybe we should put it up to. Anyway, they didn't get any African territory from that war, but they would like to. Sweden, they're suffering a lot. They've just been in war with Finland, which is kind of coordinated with the Chinese. So when is a better time than now to attack the Finns, the Swedes, and take Madagascar? It's quite a nice colony. It's been occupied for a very long time. Why not? So the Chinese troops will come from Australia, sail around, and just attack Sweden. Sweden did not expect this, and the Mauritius will be taken quite quickly. From there, an invasion onto the undefended eastern coast will occur. I mean, troops are rushing over here, but also there appears to be no urban stuff on this side, so oh well. I mean, I don't know why there really would be. Trade with Australia hasn't been going on for that long, so yeah, makes sense. And the Chinese will have an easy time going through, maybe not an easy time rushing through the forests of Madagascar, but every single battle is a success for them. The Swedes can't afford to get their troops down into the south. They're not very quick about it, and in the end it's kind of just a failed attempt. Really, they're not that successful. They take the Comoros easily, take the capital of this island, which appears to actually be the capital, before taking the rest of Madagascar. And the Swedes, they agree to pay them a load of money and just let them have Madagascar. They need to deal with their economy. The Chinese are like, oh, we'll help you convert to our economy because we're just trying to control you economically. So that's great. Sweden's just like, please, nobody attack Central America. And that's when the Japanese struck. No, I don't think so. I'll leave them alone for a bit. The Japanese also do need to rebuild. They just absorbed a load of land and money. They got Tanzania, but there's like a ton of people there. They've absorbed a load of Civilisation people into their country. The Civilisation do not like them. There are so many revolts going on in these countries, especially in South China, which is suffering an awful lot at this point, because it's a huge union of a load of countries who, they've cooperated across history, except for kind of the blue Indian one. They haven't done loads with these guys. And the Vietnamese, of course, hate them, so there's loads and loads of riots going on in Vietnam, and it's just a lot to deal with, along with a huge economic crash. Might as well sell some stuff to China, because China's staying really well with this economic crash. They're basically controlling the stock market. Why don't you just go sell some stuff to China? So they're going to sell quite a lot of their land to the Chinese country, mostly land that doesn't really mean much. I mean, that sounds like a couple cities. Also, they haven't even really sorted out where their capital is going to be, which is something you should sort out. But I suppose it's not going to be in this city, because I'm about to take that one into the new Chinese Empire. I mean, we've kind of had a Chinese Empire since they were created, in a way. Anyway, so China's having a great time here, as they end up annexing a load of land. Great fun. I love annexing land. Especially when I barely got any war spoils during World War I. A war when the Chinese they donated a load of people. Lots of Chinese people died fighting in Central Asia, in Middle East. Although there wasn't that much fighting there. In the Balkans, I suppose. A lot of people died in the Balkans during World War I. Because the yellow team had a very grueling fight, they couldn't really, that easily, on their own, beat a lot of these countries who were in the Balkans, like Greece, Crete. I mean, they had the support of the Italians, Italy also. They weren't stronger than the purple Italian country, if that's any clue. And then the Chinese had to fight Korea. Korea is actually stronger than them, so that was fun. So yep, here's our new map. I might change it slightly. I think I will. Just down here in the south slightly. They want this bit back. I don't know why they want it back. Probably just some border thing. Who knows? Anyway, they want this bit back, so they're going to get that bit back. And I think the border should be fixed. But yep, this means they can concentrate more on taking down the Vietnamese and making sure they stop ruining all the stuff that's happening in this country. Trying to economically crush it. I still don't like this that much. Anyway, the Vietnamese capital is of course not going to become their capital, because it's Vietnam, and Vietnam got annexed. So, where will their capital be? There we go. Could be in this city. Apart from that, it could be in this northern one. It's not going to be in this northern one. I think it's probably going to be in that city down there. I suppose you also have this one, but nope. No, they'll want it to be close to China, I presume. There's a lot of cities in this country, so yeah, I think I've eradicated all the meat. Oh yeah, it's this one. That entire lake. Why is the entire? Was it really annoying? Why? The entire ugly brownish country has just been annexed into this new Chinese stuff. So they're kind of annoyed about that, but it's alright. Don't worry about it. And also I might just redo that. Turns out I quite liked it how it looked. Did I? Oh, I don't think it's very fixable. But that's alright. That's okay. We'll deal with it. Also, the Chinese kind of had a new puppet up here. This brownish country. They're not great looking. But they're alright. They'll do. Of course, all these countries are being affected, so the Chinese might be able to puppet them as well. That'd be nice for the Chinese. But let's have a look at India. Indians have just become the 4th strongest country in the world. They could give the Irish Empire a run for their money, which is scary. However, things come with a price, and the theologians of this country are going to have to pay that price, because they're going to be radically altering their religion, because the Indians now want to get along more with the Green Team, who are, they're one of the first countries to ever make a religion. Their religion, I think, is the 2nd one ever made. It's almost the opposite of the Red Team religion, which is interesting in a way, because theirs is about water and snakes, because they were around the Caspian Sea. Also just snakes, because, I don't know, snakes are green. They're not, always. Anyway, so the Indian religion was a fusion between this, because, they were a rebellion from the Green Team. However, they were sponsored by the Orange Country. And their creation, just making a lot of money, becoming a powerful country, all that sort of stuff, it was the Orange Team who helped them with that. However, to get closer to the Green Team, to get more money, to get more power and appreciation, well, they are, stronger than the Green Team by quite a lot. The Green Team does have more influence, though. They are going to revert their religion to basically just the Green Team religion with a slight few changes, because, they have been separated for, a lot of years. 3,000 years or something like that. So, they are different peoples. And it's really going to cause a huge outcry in the Orange Country. Remember, the Orange Country is a theocracy. They are still a theocracy, even though it's 1920 at this point. And their country is run by a religious leader. That's who's the head of their country, the Pope of sorts, but based around a Sun religion. And He is very, very, very annoyed about what's going on. He's going to declare war on India. Now, this may be a slightly rash move, and if you thought that, you'd be correct. This was a very rash move. However, something to point out is, although this alliance is very big, encompasses most of the continents, maybe not America, but, well, the Americas, I don't think there's anything on here, but you know, they have territory in the other 5, well, will do. It's not a NATO alliance, so it's not an attack one, attack all alliance. Which means that when the Orange team declare war on the Lime team, that doesn't mean that 20 other countries get involved and all attack the Orange country. It'd be funny, wouldn't it? It would just divided up the Orange country. What would that look like? I suppose China, India, the yellow team. They'd all get a bite. Probably the Italians as well. Anyway, doesn't really matter. Maybe these guys. Anyway, so they're going to declare war on the Indian country and lead an invasion to the old capital of the Mint country. This was another old capital. There's a lot of old capitals just lying around. Let's change that. It's funny they were so close though. You know, the Mint team was like, I think they were initially going to be the first country I'd destroy. However, that ended up being that ugly mustard country. Because I just kind of didn't realize I destroyed them. So the Indians lead an invasion and take these 2 cities because the Lime team was not expecting this. Also, they were dealing with their economy, not their military. And they begin to lead an invasion into the mountainous regions of this country. Great idea. And this kind of is successful. The Lime team struggles to get their military together. They've just, like the Chinese, sent a load of troops into this war. People are kind of unhappy because a load of their people and their family and stuff are dead. And that's not going to make you happy. And also you didn't get loads of stuff, although the unemployment rate is kind of going down because it's like a load of jobs for people to do, and generally things are going to get better for people. However, it's just not an immediate thing after World War I, and it's been like 3 years at this point, and still there's lots of unhappy people. The healthcare system's still bad in like everywhere, but it's still bad here. So the Orange team have quite an easy time pushing through lots of these Iranian, Pakistani areas. Oh, just Iranian actually. And they take a few cities, but beyond that, there's not many down here because it's the mountainous regions of Iran. I don't know what you're expecting. Until finally the Indians will push back. So they take a lot of this stuff along the coast, the central regions, take this bit, and with revolts in these cities, although not entirely, people do still support the old religion rather than this new Indian one. And they're kind of mystified that they've changed it. You know, lots of people don't understand the full politics of this country. But yeah, now the Indian troops are about to cross the Persian Gulf, and it's about to get bad. So they make 2 different landings, one in Qatar, one of the oldest areas of Orange team occupation, and another in the UAE. Their capital is right down here, so they're not going to get that anytime soon. However, the Qatari group will try and meet up with the one in the UAE. The UAE will capture another city, and yeah, I don't know if it's worth mentioning, the Lime team is the 4th strongest country. They can give the Irish country a run for their money. You know, they're only beaten by Iberia, Ireland, and the UK. It's the only areas that would beat them in the world. So, the Orange team, which is a powerful country, I'll give them that, isn't gonna beat them without help. And unfortunately, no one really wants to help them against the winners of World War I, who are very powerful at this point, and lots of the countries near the Orange team are actually quite aligned with them, because, you know, they're helping their economy and stuff. So it's kind of like, I'll build you this thing, or I'll give you this money, and then you have to pay me that back. And it's going to be a high interest rate, like 7% every month. Something crazy like that. Anyway, the Indians take the entire Persian coast from the Orange team, and the Orange team kind of close to capitulation. This is very important land, lots of religious stuff. I mean, there's lots of important religious cities here. Like this one's important, this one's more a trade one. Obviously southern ones are important for religion, but there's quite a few in this sort of area. And people are not enjoying the fact their religious centres have just been taken. So they're going to sit down with the people in the Lime team and agree to a peace treaty. So let's have a look at how that goes, because it is really going to be in the favour of the Lime team, because, you know, literally this entire area just fell apart. To this entire bit, effectively, came under the control of the Lime team. So, yeah, the Lime team, of course, gets to keep all of this. They won this war. The Orange team was dealing with a lot of stuff. People were like, why don't you join World War I if you're really in this huge opposition to them? But yeah, the Pope's getting a lot of bad press from this war, and he's not enjoying that. So poor old Pope. Anyway, they're going to take Qatar, Bahrain, any territories joining that to the UAE. So a lot of important territory, but also a new colony just dropped. Great. And that is all the Lime team will be annexing. The rest of it will go to whatever it's called. Again, Orange team. The rest of the southern stuff. Sorry, that's not very interesting. Anyway, so there we go. Oh yeah, Orange team. However, this northern stuff, it isn't going to rejoin the Orange team. The Lime team funded a rebellion in the north. They took all over the stuff. The people do not like the Orange team up here, and unfortunately, they're going to go for a rebellion. Go for their independence. Might want to work out those borders. Let's do something like that. That's alright, I think. But yep, new country just dropped. What's the mix between orange and green? I think brown or green. It looks greenish. Sort of wise man once said. Maybe not green then. We've got a lot of greens. I feel like we're going to get a lot more sometime soon. So I don't know what colour to make it. I have absolutely no clue. I don't know. There's a lot of colours to choose from. Get this colour. Alright, sure. So we have this thing. We need to get on with doing stuff. Because we still got an entire other treaty to carry out in today's episode. And I haven't planned slightly for that treaty. I'm just going to, we're going to do this. I have a vague outline of where the stuff's going. Yeah. Here's our new sovereign nation in the desert. Great. And they're, of course, very Indian aligned. They will not be joining the Indian Alliance. However, you know, they're very good friends of the Lime team, who has got themselves a new colony. So they're very, very, very happy. Good for India. I think it's about time we divided up Antarctica, however. So, the Antarctic Conference shall be taking place in the capital of the Indian country. I don't know an Indian city where their capital is. So where is your capital, boy? Where is your capital? Why is that? I feel like it was somewhere over here. I think it's this city, so I'm going to say that it's that city. I feel like it was. I can go check the footage from when they got made. Where is that? Was an Indian city near there? Because that's where the conference is going to be. It's in Gujarat. They have the Gujarat conference divided up India. Antarctica? No, it's definitely not going to do it there because there's nothing significant there. At the Oslo conference, because the people of Norway discovered it. I know most people who are going to divide up Antarctica are European. So, attending this conference, we have the UK, India, Norway, the Istrian country. The blue team was invited, however they declined because they don't like colonialism. The terracotta country, Ireland, and also Iberia. So, that is what that looks like. Let's have a go at dividing this up. It's going to be very tricky, I feel like. You know where this stuff is, though. There might be other countries who join that I forgot about, so just keep that in mind. That I might have forgotten about certain countries and not mentioned them. Not me just going, oh wait a minute, I'd like to add that country to this conference. Don't worry, that wouldn't be what's happening there. Antarctica. Anyway. It's not going to become highly important in this series, I don't think. But it's a nice thing to just throw in. Like, oh, we've added Antarctica to the world now. Cool. So the British are, of course, out here in New Zealand. This is where they're going to be doing their main colonizing stuff from, in terms of Antarctica. So we get a division of Antarctica that looks something like this for the British. So that line has been made. This is the British territory in Antarctica. So let's do that in red. Cool. Then we get onto the Dutch territory in Antarctica. That will be this Australian area. I'm going to divide up and have... I'll make sure the lines are straight because, you know, I just want it to look good. And like our real life one, the Indians basically just take the entire Indian Ocean sort of area. So that is going to be all of this stuff for the Indian Empire. Cool. There's them. The South Africans will be taking some more territory, because of course they will be. Well, this is the Terracotta Nation again. You know, they feel kind of sad they lost a load of stuff. Get some more stuff. There you go. Feel a bit better now. Iberia will be getting a load of land down here in Antarctica. So they managed to net themselves all of this stuff. And the rest of it, I just remember Norway exists. The rest will be divided up between Norway and Istria. So the Istrians will be receiving probably along here. They don't want loads because the Istrian country is not a very powerful country. I mean, they're kind of powerful, but they're not that strong. So they receive all of that. This is going to be their colour. And the rest of it will go to Norway. So the Norwegians can be... I don't know which colour Norwegians should be. There we go. There's Norway. This island will go to the Purple Nation. And here is our division of Antarctica. So the pink bit will be these guys. Of course. And there you go. Cool looking Antarctica. I think it's pretty accurate. Nobody got missed out. I mean, the Chinese could have got stuff, but they didn't go for it. Yeah. Oh, the Irish. Did I say the Irish? Did I say the Irish? Am I just stupid? Well, you can see that I really planned the borders out for this. I think I made a bodge of Africa as well with the Irish. And now I've made a bodge of Antarctica. Once again, to do the Irish. Poor Irish, you just being blamed for stuff. Anyways, the Irish won't be annexing that much of this because... do they even need any? No. Yeah, I lied about Ireland getting in. Oh well. I'm sorry, Ireland. Maybe I didn't say it. Oh, I feel bad now. Oh well. There we go. This is our new treaty for Antarctica. Yeah. Doesn't sound very professional. However, next episode we'll be looking more at the economic crash, what countries are going to be doing after World War I, which is kind of what we looked at today, but more of that. And yeah, that's about it really, as alliances start to rise, and new movements will appear. Oh yeah, mentioning alliances, I should probably have talked about that. So, the Eastern European Alliance, gone. The Aegean Alliance is still there between Greece and Crete, and as for the South Asian Syndicate, it is now 3 countries. The brown team, the purple Myanmarese one, and now the orange country. Very, very interesting. So yeah, that's that. We'll see next time what happens after this. In World War One. After World War One. Anyway, yeah, that wasn't a great end off, but thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Subscribe, like, and have a nice rest of your day. Goodbye.